Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to War Thunder. In this video, we're going to be driving and reviewing the Rank 2 battle rating 3.3 Italian medium tank, the P40. With the intro out of the way, let's take the P40 into battle. So just before I start the actual video, I just wanted to come on here and say that I am very sick. You can probably hear that in my voice, but if you don't, you just know I am right now. I am very sick. I am down with a very big cold, but I decided to try to get the video out for you guys anyways. So just to let you know that my voice will be pretty bad this video. Sorry for the inconvenience and enjoy the video. Okay, so here we are on our first game. It's on the map Carpathians. We are going to be taking the P40 over to the charging point for this round. I do think the hill is more important to grab, but I just kind of had bored of going there. So we pull up and we start shooting at the tanks in the middle. The muzzle velocity on this gun isn't the best. The armor is decent in a down tier, but what separates this tank is the explosive filler. The explosive filler is very good and you will one-shot almost every tank you face. The major downside to the shell is the penetration. You have to know where to aim, especially in a up tier. So quickly after eliminating all three of the tanks in the middle, we quickly move over to try to kill this M4105, which is very hard to kill at this battle rating. Luckily for us though, he did show his side to us, so it was a pretty easy kill. With the Charlie capture point basically clear of enemies, we start firing over to the hill and to the Bravo point. Not seeing a chance to pop out since I am kind of afraid that they will just murder me, we change positions to try to surprise them with a new angle. And after having switched places, when I was going to shoot on the guys at Alpha, we see a enemy that is trying to conquer Charlie once again. It's another Swedish medium tank. It's a pretty easy shot to the side of his turret, so after this kill I decided that I was going to kind of push forward as far as I could up to the hill you see on the right side. Since there wasn't any enemies here and I felt like I would just be wasting my time on the previous position, I quickly tried to move into a more advantageous position to where I can basically kill everybody trying to close in on any capture points. But on my way we spot the guys we were shooting at previously. On the Alpha hill I'm still quite new to the muzzle velocity, so I didn't hit my shot unfortunately. But now, using my binoculars, I spot a Panzer III. It's the short barrel version which fires heat. So I wasn't that scared of him, so the follow-up shot does kill him quite easily with a shot to the side of his tank. And as you can probably hear now, there are enemies to our left, and there is also an enemy trying to capture a Bravo point. But I am more worried about the guy to my left since he's very close. Turns out to be Puma. A Puma can kill us very easily since his gun has very good high penetration rounds. But after the close threat was cleared out, we continued to eliminate people trying to reinforce Alpha and the Bravo. After having moved up the hill I originally wanted to place myself at, we see two tanks hiding behind the rock I was staring at. Just going to wait until they pop out again. We are in no hurry to kind of kill anybody here, especially since I will have a sound cue if anybody comes behind me. and the rest of the battlefield I can see quite well. The P40 has 10 degrees of gun depression, so you can actually work some ridgelines pretty effectively in this tank. The only real flaw is the turret traverse, which is pretty slow, and of course the muzzle velocity and the penetration of the round. But if you learn how to work around that, you can be very successful in this tank. And here you can see the poor penetration on this M3, but the follow-up shot, I don't really know how that got through, but we will take a kill nonetheless. But speaking of the lineup you can bring out, the Italian 3.3 is non-existent. You have you have two actually. You have two tank destroyers which you can bring, but that is basically all. So most of the time you will up tier this tank to 3-7, where the Italians actually have a lineup. Speaking of planes, you don't have very effective planes. You have some German ones you can bring in, but the Italian 3.3 lineup is very limited, so you will often use this in a up tier to a 3-7 lineup. And if you've been paying attention to the sound cues, you will have heard a Swedish tank destroyer. It's a Saab to the right of this kind of mountain. I turned off my engine to try to get an ambush kill on him, but he just kinda sits and, I don't know, just waits in the road. Man, low tier players. But anyways, his team is gonna get spawn camped in like 30 seconds. 2 of the captures are being taken and the last one is neutral, so he has no chance of winning. And what does he decide to do? He decides to just kind of sit and bait on this rock. So I just get bored, try to push him, but he actually does kill me. And in the time it has taken me to respawn a backup and push all the way forward, do you know how far he has advanced his tank? He has advanced his tank about 50 meters. Fucking great. This is why I hate low tier players. They don't play in any predictable way. So anyways, we're kinda stuck battling this thing on this ridgeline. The game is about to end and I'm just gonna try to risk it. We drop artillery on him to hopefully kill him. He has basically no armor, so it actually could work. The other thing is I'm trying to get some cover by using these smokes, and it works. We pull forward and we kill him. And we don't manage to do anything for the next minute, so that is the end of the game. With 11 kills, we take first place in this game. We managed to earn a total of 6,700 research points and 39,100 silver lions. So for the next game we are on the Sinia map. This time I'm taking the P40 to the right side of the map to try to win the hill. We flank around and we murder a M4 right off the bat. I did hear 2 more enemies to our right, so we will have to be careful. The Sark light tank fires at us, but luckily his solid shot does basically nothing and we pick up another kill. And the last guy, which is here on the Charlie point, gets kind of murdered after the Sark. So in the beginning of the game we managed to pick up 3 kills pretty quickly in succession and take over this side of the map. Having driven up to the sniper hill on this map, I was surprised to not find anybody actually sniping. The only thing we do find is a British light tank, which volumetric just kinda screws us over with. But our follow-up shot does take care of it quite nicely, as his solid shot does no damage to our angled side. My thoughts by driving up here after I've secured the capture point is to, first off, I can kind of cut off this sniper hill, which is a pretty powerful position. Second off, I can get views onto any enemies at the Bravo point, which we do. We find one lonely Sherman just kinda not staring at us. So we're gonna try to line up a kill shot right here. But we can now see the horrible penetration showing its head once again, and it finally does pick him up. But I was kinda surprised as I didn't find that many tanks up here. Usually at the higher BRs there is always a bunch of tanks here, but you can't expect too much from low tier. Now we can use the fantastic gun depression to take out another British light tank, the Tetrarch this time. Turning our attention right, we use the great gun depression to kind of work this ridge line, first taking out a T-28 and following up by killing another Tetrarch. But I'm still kind of questioning because I've only killed guys out of the spawn this time. There's no one that's like coming from the other side of the hill, whereas there's usually a bunch of tanks. So we are just going to try to move into a better position. I did notice earlier that this tank kinda came out here, and I do hear more engines to my immediate front. After not finding anything interesting, we rotate up to our previous position and a BT-7 is currently engaging us. So we line up the shot and once he puts forward, it's quite an easy kill for us. Now I do kind of want to get out of this position since it is pretty dangerous, but the fact is I can't really, since if I try to leave, these spawning tanks are just going to absolutely murder me. So I'm kind of stuck in this position I put myself in. Looking back at it, it wasn't the smartest decision since we do get picked up by a T-28. Now, shortly after using my backup to respawn, my OBS actually decided to just crash itself. Not really entirely sure why, but since that happened, I lost the rest of the game. So unfortunately you will only be able to see 9 kills, but I can't tell you what kind of happened. So we rotate over into Bravo point and we killed 2 more tanks. And the last kill is a shot from Bravo over to a guy trying to kill a friendly SPAA driving through the middle of the map. So in total we did get 11 kills for the second game as well. But sadly the OBS just kinda crashed, so that's it for the second game, unfortunately. Well, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned as there will be more content to come about War Thunder in the near future. Until next time, take care.